Boxing King Media powered by BYD in the Riyadh season.
Pusher. Oh my God. You've got to get the interview. Huh? Where is he? Go on. What? Did he? Well, fair play. He'll probably ask me for it, to be fair. Oi.
Just get it invoiced to me.
Yeah. Oh, Eddie, can you send me 1,000? Listen, I said that is an unbelievable bit of boxing memorabilia, but I would wipe my arse with it.
£2,000 at Derek Chisora. Thank you, Derek Chisora.
Right.
Hello, the mic.
Oh, okay.
Eddie, we'll start off. Obviously, we just had an eventful weigh-in. We'll start off with the incident earlier today. Eubank comes in for his weigh-in at the hotel. You're strategically positioned next to a coffee shop as he's walking past you. Everyone's suggesting that it was staged, and Chris is blaming you, saying Eddie Hearn had something to do with it.
That's nice of him. To be honest with you, I don't really go about staging approaching Chris Eubank Jr. If you ask IFL, we were actually standing at the coffee bus, and all of a sudden, they went, "Oh look, he's coming down now." And then obviously when he walks past, what do you expect's going to happen? So definitely not staged, but I think tomorrow will be even more lively, to be honest. So tune in.
Ever staged anything? Does that stuff ever get staged in boxing?
Never ever staged anything in my life. I've never even said to a fighter, give him, to me, that's the most disrespectful. You imagine me going to Dimitri Bivol, well, mate, give him a shove, yeah? There are some promoters out there that get people to say things and like fighters to say things and...
like who?
It's not my cup of tea, honestly. Like, listen, we want, like, see with what I've done with Artie yesterday. I knew Dev was going to ask me that question because he told me he was going to ask it. But I didn't say to Dev, mate, ask me that question, mate. Like, some people go up to people who run presses and go, right, this is the question that I want you to ask. I don't even know what I'm going to fucking say. Imagine me staging something. I don't know. Everything I do is on the fly.
The weigh-ins today, the Eubank one was quite interesting to see. We saw Chris flexed his muscles. Frank got in the way and winked at the cameras. I'm guessing he missed that bit. So it looked like he obviously did it as a bit of banter, but then obviously it looked like there was words exchanged between Frank and Ben Shalom, and you was in the best seat in the house.
Yeah, I don't honestly, like, I sort of felt the energy. I think Ben just sort of dived in front of Frank and shoved him out of the way, and I was like, whoa, I don't know really what happened, but you'd have to ask Mr. Warren and Mr. Shalom. It was good fun, but you know, Frankie's 73. So
people on Twitter are saying there was an exchange between you and Ben as well. Can you tell us anything about that?
No, there wasn't. All I said was, I said something regarding Fraser Clark about the fight, but nothing like. I don't really know what happened, to be honest with you.
Can you share what you said?
It wasn't anything. It was about, I think I might have had a bit of banter saying something like, oh, maybe we'll have him in the future or something like that. But he was bantering back with me about, I think, Jai Pattaya or something like that. So, but there was no exchange with me and Ben on the stage. Anything even remotely, like, verbal.
It looks all mad with all three of you on the stage together. Is there like an order who's going to do what? Because obviously sometimes it's not your fighters, sometimes it's not Ben's fighters, or do you all just sit in?
I believe that there's been requests to be in the middle in his contracts. I've never put that in a contract in my life. It's just like, I don't know. But you have to understand, it's a very unique situation because obviously you've got like 4 promoters on the stage. So normally you'd be in the front of every photo, but it's a bit weird, like you're there. But it doesn't matter. Just like when the fight goes, you just sort of step forward, and where you sort of land, you land. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how you can get a specific place ordered up for the fight, but yeah, I don't know. You'd have to ask one of those two.
Does Chris stop this guy tomorrow?
I've only ever watched Kamil Szeremeta once, and that was against Gennady Golovkin, coming back from a layoff. It was in COVID, I think. It was one of our shows in Orlando. I don't really think Chris is that good, if I'm honest. Kamil is like a British level, European level guy, and Chris has been out for a long time. So, you know, listen. One thing I say about Eubank is he's not going to get the invite for a bit of Sunday lunch, but he's great for the sport. Great for the sport.
What do you make of his antics with the sword and all the build-up? Because
absolutely brilliant.
Dominic Ingle said he was making a fool of himself.
Yeah, but he always makes a fool out of himself. With all due respect, his dad, who was a great fighter, extremely tough, he made a living out of making a fool of himself in terms of his bravado. I mean, the geezer wore jodhpurs walking down the street with a monocle on and a cane going like this. I mean, but everybody tuned in. People bought tickets. People went to watch him lose. People went to watch him win. You know, my dad created that with him, and the ring walks and everything. He was like one of the hottest tickets in town. Junior's at the end of his career. He's 35 years old. But people love that shit. I love it. Listen, if my fighter turned up with a sword and started waving it around, fantastic. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to like these people. Look at Ben Whittaker. I mean, I think Ben Whittaker, you know, when you got a talent like that, you really got to know what you're doing. Because this kid should be, you know, he should be on cards, he should be on Canelo cards, he should be on Boots Ennis cards, he should be on BAM cards, he should be on, you know, like, he's got a lot of potential, but you got to move him in the right way at the right speed, because otherwise it can pass you by very quickly in this game. You've got to keep momentum. And this fight's quite important for him because he's just not got any momentum, Ben Whittaker, in the ring.
I asked what you, because you said that the other day, and I asked Ben Shalom about that, and his response was that you're more interested in making yourself famous than fighting. I don't have that in my contracts that I must be in the middle of fighters and dive in the middle of a face-off. I mean, that's a slight faux pas, yeah, or faux pas even from Ben Shalom. I mean, I want to be a star, yet he's putting in contracts that he's got to be in the middle and diving in front of a 73-year-old man and shoving him out of the way to go, I'm here. Come on, fucking hell. Last question for you. The rumours are AJ Dubois is going to be headlining this 5v5 with Frank and yourself. I think I spoke to you last week. I think you said it's AJ that decides if he fights him or not. But you as his promoter, what would your honest opinion be? Should he be rematching Dubois or waiting out for?
Firstly, there is nothing confirmed at all. I don't know what's going to happen. What would I suggest? I would probably just say to him, mate, however you're feeling, like, I don't think there's a right or wrong decision. You know, if you say you're going to rematch him, everyone says, oh, it's too early, it's a disaster move doing that. If you say that you're going to wait to see what happens in Fury Usyk, which is probably the sensible thing to do, everyone says, oh, you swerved the rematch. Like, it's just, you can't really win. I think it's more about the timing. You know, you have to get back in that gym probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks. It's a fast turnaround, but we'll see.
What do you make of the new boxing game, by the way?
Say that again?
What do you make of the new boxing game?
I haven't played it. I don't play it.
Back in the 60s, you know.
Eddie, I don't know what's going on here.
I'm a Gareth.
Oh, right, I was going to say, I thought you were talking about me.
He's like, what's going on? Let's go get Eddie here, because he knows I can come and just go like this as a black man.
Oh, you're fighting with everyone this week.
I'm not.
Did you flap a little bit when Beterbiev got stuck into you?
No.
Why did you look at Fraser Clark for backup?
Because it's my job to create things for you to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one.
Numbers, views. All of a sudden, look at the numbers that clip did yesterday. In fact, Artur Beterbiev should be phoning me up and going, by the way, thank you for that. Blimey, but he don't care about his profile. He's not interested.
You were a little bit scared.
Gareth, shut up.
What's the worst he's going to do to you, though?
No, but even if he chins me, there's one time in my entire professional career that I've been scared.
Go on.
When he come up to me after he slung the table, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I went to him, Derek, come on, mate, stop it. And you come up to me, you went, do you want me to end this now? Yeah. And there was a security guard there, and you were about there, and I thought to myself, fuck me, if he chins me now, I'm banging trouble. And that was actually...
You remember it?
I remember it, yeah.
Would you have?
No, I wouldn't.
Really?
No,
you wouldn't, because you were an animal.
No, I wouldn't.
Say what you were that close.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. I
wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
You wanted to get your hands on Dillian, really?
Yeah.
He was a different guy then.
He was.
No, he was. Listen, I've seen people take liberties with him.
Oh, no, Olivia,
easy,
you know what I mean?
Easy.
But they wouldn't do that anymore. Like, back then, like, you know.
This is what happens when you have girls.
No, it's also what happens when you make money.
You become soft.
No, but you make
You're
money.
Not soft.
No, he's listen. He's just mature now.
Back
then he was a almost like a kid saying with like fucking me against the world. Do you know what I mean? Now he's just a nice guy.
We're going to get Ben and Eubank or not?
Listen, how can you not?
Were you setting that
Watch.
up? Did you set that up in that
This is what
hotel
Eubank
today?
says. Set it up. We're standing at the coffee thing, having a coffee. IFL were interviewing us, and all of a sudden they went, "Oh, he's walking past." He set it up. No, wait around for him to set it up. You set it up. Wait till you see tomorrow night. You see if that's a setup. Because I know tomorrow night, I'm telling you now, it's going down in that arena. Conor Benn, as soon as that fight's over,
In the ring.
they better get security close to that man. Because he
I
wants,
interviewed him today. He's
he wants to
unbelievable.
set about it. How big's that fight for British boxing?
He said it's a 3-round stoppage for him.
Listen,
He's going to just
the
go
only
in there
thing,
and throw.
The only thing that makes that competitive is the size. Because Conor has a massive physical disadvantage at 160 against Eubank. But he's not very good, Eubank. If that fight was at 147, Conor would destroy him. But let's see what he might struggle tomorrow night.
Boxing King Media apologies.
Alright.
Gents apologies.
Yeah,
Got dragged
no worries.
down here by Derek.
Is that this is what I'm saying, these people taking him.
I'm like, you know what?
Pick him up and sling him
Have you
over.
got a fight for him yet or not?
That's not my responsibility.
That's what we came down here for. Because we want Derek in the ring again, yeah?
Yeah, ASAP.